maybe like 20 years ago, that someone did a research on the global economy and all of that, and they did some research and said, how can we, eliminate, global poverty, and where third world countries where they're lacking resources and all that. Actually, they have a lot of resources, but other people take them. However, there is a lot of poverty in the world, and how can we eliminate all of that? And nobody left behind, right? Everybody has something to provide for themselves and their families. So how do we do that? So they came up with different strategies, and they said, the accumulation of wealth, the top 10% of the richest people in the world, if we take their wealth and we say, let's say that this is like more than 20 years ago. They said, let's say 2%, if they take out 2% of their wealth, we can eliminate poverty from the world. And it was very interesting. At the end of that research, it was said that if they do 2.5%, subhanAllah, the exact amount of our zakat amount, they said that this will take care of, global poverty. So subhanAllah, it's amazing that, our tradition is a very natural tradition of fitrah. So it just, mashallah, a lot of people realize things later on and do their research, and it comes like exactly the same way, subhanAllah. So inshallah, moving on, the conditions of the obligation. So a person has to be an adult, has to be a sane person, a free person, and a Muslim. So I think the three will obviously apply to all people. So if a child has wealth, then that child does not have to pay any zakat. Like for example, parents who have savings for their kids. So sometimes they open an account very early on when they're like just born, and they open an account for them as for their education or whatever. They don't have to pay zakat on their child's account. And there's a lot of benefits that you can actually get when you open a minor's account, and where you can get tax break and all of that. Inshallah, you can contact the expert for that. But so a child does not have to pay zakat. A sane person. So if someone who's mentally not stable. Yeah, it's very fascinating the way the story of Surah Al-Kahf, وَكَانَ تَحْتَهُ كَنْزٌ لَهُمَا وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمَا صَالِحًا, that the pious parents who were no longer around, and there were two orphans, and their wealth was preserved, right? So it's very interesting that, that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes care of people. I have 10,000 that I put aside, and it's been, a year. A year has passed, but also I have accumulated more wealth, and perhaps maybe by the end of that mark of the 1 year mark, a month before, instead of 10,000, I received another 10,000. Now I have 20,000. Do I pay zakat on just the 10,000 that I had for the entire year, or do I pay now 20,000 on the entire amount, which is 20,000?